Just told me how he broke up with a girl he was dating because she talked too much. And I'm thinking, is that the only reason why you break up with somebody? I mean, really. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. A woman talks too much is a problem. She doesn't talk is a problem. I mean, I thought it was a bit petty. What do you think, Atu? To break up with somebody who talks too much?
Yeah, you can. And you probably should.
Why?
Well, it depends. It depends what state you're in at that moment. Because talking too much, it's probably you don't want to listen at that very moment that she's talking. So that means that she's not taking into consideration how you are feeling.
Yeah, but the girl is a talkative. I mean, that's who she is. You can't change who she is.
Sure, but if you can't live with it, there's nothing you can do about it. I'm like, sorry, you're a nice person, but I can't deal with all this talking. I've got other things to do with my life than listen to you talk, so it's over.
But her talking is not non-foul. She just likes to talk.
About what?
About stuff.
Like,
She'd rather talk than bottle things up, for instance. She likes to talk.
Well, she needs to take maybe some emotional training classes or something. Because if you're not supposed to bottle things up, but you're supposed to deal with things, right? Yeah. Then if you're talking too much, you might end up saying things that don't.
And her way of dealing with things is talking.
If then it doesn't really matter who's listening, right? So she can talk to other people or a wall.
But that's why you're my partner. That's why she's dating you.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be in this together.
Here's the thing. Everyone can tolerate a certain level of something, right? And talking might be one of the things that a person can't tolerate. Personally, I can't tolerate too much talking because I hear a lot of talking in daily life anyway, like work life, daily life. And then I'm coming to hear you talk about things that don't matter as well. No.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, I don't think I'll break up with such a person. Especially what it is the person is saying makes sense. Ladies naturally would want to talk, and they would want to talk about everything. If that is the kind of partner I end up getting, I'm going to live with the person. Unless it is something serious, okay? But if it has to do with talking, you can be sure that I'll be able to cope with such a person.
What about somebody who doesn't talk at all? Like, there are people...
Somebody who doesn't talk at all is better for me.
For you?
Yeah.
But you compromise with the one who can talk?
Yes.
Why do you want someone who doesn't talk at all? Why would you date someone who doesn't talk at all?
Somebody who doesn't talk at all may not give you so much headache.
What kind of what is headache in your opinion?
Headache, everything they want to talk about it. Every least thing you do, they talk about it.
So that means you want to control. You want to be in control.
Yes.
You're controlling.
Control.
So you think that you are controlling?
I'm not controlling, but I should be in control. A man should be in control. A man should be in charge, you know? So if I'm in a relationship, in as much as it has to do with the two, okay, the lady will have to listen more to me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be a dictator or whatever it is, but between the two of us, she has to listen.
Well, that is my ultimate deal breaker. If a man tells me that I have to be in control and you have to be mute, you're done. I mean, wait, why would I not be able to express myself? It's the 21st century, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Nothing prevents you from saying what it is you want to say, okay? And like we say, ladies would want to nag, okay? So everything they want to talk about.
Okay.
I think some men also nag. There's a lot of nagging men out there.
If you look at the percentages, it is more with
you're looking at it from your perspective. And if I tell you from my perspective, there's a lot of men who nag unnecessarily. Atu is looking... Atu is just like...
No, a lady who doesn't talk. If you don't talk, how do we build chemistry? If you don't want to have a conversation, for example.
So, I mean, I'm confused here, Atu, because you don't want a lady who doesn't talk. You don't want a lady who talks too much. And you don't want a lady who's quiet. Or you don't want a lady who talks, period. And you don't want a lady who's quiet.
I don't want a lady who talks too much.
Okay.
And I don't want a lady who is just mute or quiet. Right?
What's your definition of quiet?
You know what? I'm asking you, so what are we getting for dinner? I don't know, whatever you want.
But she's doing it out of love. She wants you to.
No, like, yo, it can happen for maybe once, twice, sprinkled in there, because that's what people do. That's what everybody does. A guy does it for the girl, girls do it for the guys. It's simple, it's understandable. But if it's a continuous thing, do you have no preferences in your life? Where is your character? How do I get to know who you are? Are you just a piece of meat? Please do not be a piece of meat. You know what I mean?
So that's your deal breaker.
It is a deal
I
breaker.
thought men want. All men want is a piece of meat, since they're the hunters. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, not all men want a piece of meat. Not all men want. Men probably want some brain, like a lot of brain. Because, for example, if you're not able to have a conversation with a person, if I cannot talk to you on an intellectual level, if we cannot talk about what Mozart did and compare it to Kanye, for example, if we cannot gel with SpongeBob SquarePants and then start talking about Chopin or something, then maybe we're not.
Or maybe you're asking for too much. But what if I don't know? I don't know anything about Mozart and SpongeBob. I didn't grow up watching things like that. So that makes it a deal breaker.
You grew up watching something else.
That you didn't watch.
Exactly. But here's the deal. The question was about being mute, not talking. How am I supposed to know who you are if you're not going to tell me what your experiences were? And if we cannot build a middle ground based on what your experiences are and my experiences are, you have to talk. I have to talk. We share ideas. We're building something together. It's not me just imposing my things on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Anthony said, I have to be in control. Control of what? Of who?
Well, control of the relationship. Not necessarily dictating the pace, Of course, in every relationship there is communication. That would exist. But a situation where the lady would want to talk about everything, then it becomes so much of an issue.
But if you say that you want to be the one in charge of the relationship, I don't understand, because you're the man, you have to be in charge, or you have to have the final say. I've tried to.
Yeah, indeed, the man would want to have.
Wait, why?
Why does the man want to have a final say?
But every relationship.
So when it comes to finances as well, the man must have the final say. He must be the provider.
A man, not necessarily a perfect man, okay, but any man who would want to go into any relationship, on the basis of majority, the person should be average. If it comes to finances, if it comes to...
Yeah, but I'm also going out there to bring home some help when finances are concerned.
So the two of you, okay, would want to discuss issues. However, the man would be the one in charge.
Yeah, but what if I make more money than the man?
It doesn't really matter.
Why?
You still have to be in charge.
Yeah.
No, that's it. The ultimate deal breaker for me. I'm not like you said. Like I just said, there has to be a middle ground. That's fine.
we sometimes we want to bring these other things in society into, if you like, relationship. Democracy, if you like, doesn't exist in relationship. If you like.
Wait, democracy does not exist.
Democracy. What does that mean?
Where you can say that both parties, okay, are at liberty to do anything.
Yeah, but both parties. So both parties can bring in the income. Both parties can share the bills and pay. But both parties are not at liberty to have the final say. Equally.
It depends on what the issue is.
It doesn't even matter the issue. I mean, at the end of the day, isn't it a partnership that we're in?
It is. But somebody would have to lead the way.
You do realize that this is a relationship,
Exactly.
right? There's two parties involved.
Coming together.
Yeah, so why should one be the domineering?
Not necessarily domineering, but of course, even in this gathering, somebody is moderating. Person is the leader. Okay? It's the same in relationships.
I mean, it's not necessarily leadership. Would you call that leadership?
Well, not necessarily, but the fact remains that...
We're having a conversation here.
Yeah.
Yes, but the fact remains that somebody is either moderating or regulating it. It's the same in relationship.
Okay.
We can't all be doing the same thing and think that it is right. No. Somebody has to direct it.
I don't think it should be automatic that one gender should be on top of the other.
Because I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. But
yes,
largely to some extent, you'd always have men, okay? But scripture even has it.
That's
the man is in charge of the house, the head of the family.
So would that mean at that time it meant that the man would go and hunt and bring the food home for the woman to cook for and look after the kids. But now the women are also going out there
But
to also
that
hunt.
doesn't take that, if you like, responsibility or authority given to a man.
Well, but you've given us the authority as well because we are now hunted.
We have given you, we have allowed you to share in that authority.
You have allowed who? You allowed who to go out there and do what?
Let me not be too biblical, okay? But
No, feel free.
Scripture will tell you that a man would need a woman, okay, to make a home. Why is it so? It presupposes mean that there is a man, okay, you add in on a woman. Whatever it is I share, I'm going to extend.
Yeah, but it says a man would need a woman. So the
Yes.
woman is important. So she has
the
to have
woman
a
is
say.
important. I'm not saying the woman shouldn't have a say. The woman would have a say.
You know, the fact
Okay.
is, Scripture says a lot of things
Agreed.
as well. And it's not all of them that we take and employ and take to heart like that and just practice just like that. At the end of the day, there are situations which have changed. Women are going out there and earning their own money. They're bringing home money.
Yeah, some women are making more than some men.
So that if I'm going out with a woman who says that because she's the one taking care of all the finances, and so I should become the woman in the house, then she
No one
becomes
is
the man.
wanting you to become the woman in the house. No one is wanting you
Because
to.
that is what is happening in our world today.
No, that's what you are feeling in your world
you
today.
have
But then
ladies-
the question is.
What do you mean by becoming the woman of the house? I want to understand that.
Exactly.
What does that
Where you do all the domestic stuffs, okay?
Don't you do domestic? Don't you do domestic things?
You do.
Even as a man, if in your relationship,
Yeah. I mean,
are you in a relationship?
I mean, yeah, I am.
and so you don't do anything. You sit.
I
You're one of
do.
those guys who would say, "Honey, fix me
In
tea."
fact, when I cook for you, you would love it. I do all the domestic things. These were things I was doing before even I met the said woman.
Yeah.
Okay. But once I go into a relationship, the rules are defined. Somebody has to do the domestic, somebody has to do the others. If the woman, for any reason, is in the kitchen and I choose, it's not that I'm obliged. If I choose to join her, that is perfect.
So the woman who can choose to go to the kitchen.
The woman cannot choose to go to the kitchen. It is her responsibility, but that is her role.
Oh wow.
What role? Who even decides the responsibility?
Oh, like I said, Scripture has it.
But Scripture also has it that the man goes out there and the
work,
woman
and
is
then
supposed to
bring
stay
it.
at home. But
Yes,
then
but
now women are also going out there to make the money and they're bringing it home.
So it doesn't make them men.
It doesn't make them men, but it doesn't mean that the fact that the Scripture says it and we are doing the opposite of what Scripture is saying as women, we should be mute and we shouldn't. Are we now men? Because if I go out to make the money, am I now considered a man?
No,
Okay.
you are not considered a man. But what it is you are doing out there, okay, in bringing money home, is to complement the man.
Yeah, but if you also do the domestic jobs in the
It is
house,
to complement the woman.
It's to complement the woman, exactly.
Yes,
but you said that that's not your responsibility.
And
Now,
it's an
that's
obligation.
that's yeah.
It is the woman's duty to do that.
No.
Yes.
Why is it a woman's duty? So what is a man's duty?
The
Wait,
man's
why
duty.
do you not want to be in that position?
Oh, it is not an issue of not being in that position. It is an issue of the woman understanding that.
So what is I want to know what the man's duty is. If the woman's duty is being domesticated,
the
what is
woman's duty is to the man's duty is to ensure that everything is perfect.
And are men doing that these days?
Yes, some men are doing it.
What is perfect in your own?
You make sure she doesn't lack anything. You make sure all the things you need at home is there.
Lack anything like what? I don't understand.
Finances, for instance, okay?
You're married?
Not yet, but soon.
Okay.
So that if the lady comes to me to say that she wants to change the hairstyle this weekend, I should be in a position to provide.
Okay. If the lady comes in and says she wants a new car, you should be.
I should be in a position to provide.
Okay.
Because then, for me, I feel I am, if like...
So if you can't provide, then it makes you less of a man. Is that what it is? Or then you're not a man?
If you can't meet what it is will make the home a home, of course, you're not a man.
What makes a home a home?
Where you don't lack anything, okay? Being it food, being it money, shelter, clothing.
And you're willing to take that responsibility upon yourself solely as a man?
Well, if the kind of work I do permits me, why not? I will.
But if it doesn't,
Like I tell my soon-to-be that if I marry her, I'd want her to be at home. In spite of
No.
all her masters, among others.
why would you do that?
Why would she want to work for
Anthony,
someone?
why would you do that?
Why would she want to work for someone?
No.
Even if she chooses to work, it should be her own work.
Ato, she went to school. She's paid all this money to get her degree. She has brains.
She's going to work in somebody's office and she's going to be.
So are you going to set her up? Are you going to?
Yes, I will do that. If she wants to do her own work, that is fine.
But she has to get the experience first.
She can start with hers. As for experience, it has to do with the individual, not you working for someone.
Wow. Ato, what are your ultimate deal breakers?
Close-mindedness, like an unwillingness to realize that people think in different ways, and then there are different approaches to different things. For example, if I ever came across a woman who expected a man to provide everything in the house, that's a close-minded woman who has not realized that the situations are different these days. So, okay, you can go out there, make some money. You can go out there, try to...
So I'm taking that you will not marry a close-minded man like this one. If you encountered him...
If I was born a girl and I encountered him, I would not touch you with a 10-foot pole. Hey, seriously. No.
Anyway, so then it varies, you know. Whereas he may not be able to tolerate such issues, there are others out there who would gladly embrace it. You know?
I would not
No,
want my sister or my daughter or anyone to get close and, like, she's got her MBA and then you're trying to coop her up in the house.
No, you see, she would work.
Set her up.
Hey, you're setting her up, yeah? You have your world of your own, and your world is not as big as the world out there.
But so if your sister is in love, totally and utterly in love with him, and that's what she wants. What if that's what your sister wants? Maybe that's what his to-be wants.
If that's what my...
Have you guys discussed it? And that's
Yes,
what she
we
wants.
have.
And she's happy with it?
Before, she wasn't, but now she sees why.
Because you had to convince her.
Not necessarily. Especially where she goes to work.
Convincing or coercion?
No, you see, there's no coercion. Especially where you talk about these things. She goes to work, and somebody somewhere would want to make her look as if she's a non-entity. Okay?
Yeah, but that happens. Are you self-employed?
I am. Apart from that which I do, okay, on daily basis, there are things I do personal. And I can depend on what I do personal without necessarily going to the office.
So are you looking to quit your job? Because you're asking her to.
After 3 years.
Okay. So your deal breaker is close-mindedness.
One of my deal breakers.
Okay,
I mean,
one of them.
I believe everybody has a list of deal breakers.
Yeah.
A long list.
I don't know. I'm even afraid to ask you which is yours.
Oh, mine is straightforward, you know. By now you should know.
What is it? Tell me.
Cheating, trust.
Cheating.
You know, once
I
you
don't
break...
cheat.
Well, our society considers, if you like, cheating from the part of a man as normal. That is what
cheating is cheating.
Cheating is cheating, whether it's from a man or from a woman.
Cheating is cheating.
You know, it is usually abnormal, okay, to hear that a lady is cheating.
Why is it abnormal?
But if you are told, oh, this guy is like this, that guy is like that, even women don't complain.
Here's the reality.
You don't.
We do.
You accommodate it.
You can accommodate it as well.
That's okay because we accommodated it.
Ladies would accommodate it, but men will not.
Wait, ladies will accommodate it because no. This is some patriarchy thing that you are spitting right now. No. Here's the thing. Just because it's this way doesn't mean that it has to remain this way.
Agreed.
So Anthony, if you were cheating on your wife, would you expect your wife to accommodate it?
Oh, I know naturally she will not, but she won't live like I would live.
But so I mean, it's like the standards. I don't understand. You know, double standards right there.
The understanding is that ladies, okay, you know, when we talk about love, we love more with our mind, okay? We love more with our mind. Ladies don't. Even if you love with your mind, the heart or the emotional aspect is high.
So you are trying to tell me that because if your wife cheats on you, you will leave, but she would accommodate it. what makes you special? What makes you, like, I don't understand. She should accommodate yours, but you can't accommodate hers. Or you shouldn't accommodate hers. I need to understand how you're thinking here, Anthony.
The understanding is that society has made it such that when a man cheats, there's no news.
But is it right?
My principles are straightforward. Because I will not want my wife to cheat, I won't do that. Okay? I will not do that. However, what I am saying is that society has it such that if the man does it, it is no news. But if a woman does it, it is a whole lot of news. Okay?
You want to change society?
So, exactly.
Yes, why not? So I am going to change society by becoming an example. So I will not cheat. I won't create that room for my wife to either be in pain among others and decide to leave if she wants to. Okay? So I'm going to be a good example to her. But if she decides to cheat, can be sure that I'll leave. I'll walk out.
Let's flip it a little bit. Let's flip it. So you go out there and you cheat, regardless of how sweet she is, she cooks for you, she does everything like you're saying a woman should do, and then you go and cheat. You expect her to forgive you.
Oh yeah, why not? She should be able to forgive me.
But you shouldn't be able to forgive her. That is a chauvinistic approach.
Not necessarily.
I mean, Anthony, how could you even sit here and say that?
I thought,
Eh?
I'm not supporting you.
I mean, even Ato is not supporting you. Ato,
Supporting you.
Ato,
Wait, you're in the legal profession, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Your relationship or your marriage is a contract.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that contract includes exclusivity.
Yes.
Okay. If you cheat, you have abrogated, you have breached
The
the
contract.
contract.
Absolutely.
So, if you've breached the contract, it's time
You
to
gotta go.
Like,
Agreed.
it's two parties.
That is in the strictest sense, okay? But like I laid the foundation.
Just because society is saying that this is what,
Doesn't mean,
it
and
doesn't make it
you
right.
and we are society, really. Let's think about it.
We are society.
We are part of society.
Agreed.
So it takes someone like you and me to change the narrative, because I mean, I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair.
No.
What's good for the goose should be good for the gander. It's very simple. Okay, so what about a woman that snores? Like,
You know, I hear them often, but I haven't come across any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think that
what if your wife starts to snore after you get married?
my chances of experiencing it may be less, because when I sleep, you know.
That's a deal breaker.
When I sleep, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So
It becomes
and
difficult.
when I hear people snore, I'll poke you.
And then you poke, and then they turn, and then they continue snoring.
They turn and then they stop snoring for a while. Hopefully, I can slip.
So what if they stop snoring for a while and you didn't slip into your deep sleep? So what is that? Would that be a deal breaker?
I'll get another room probably.
So you're willing to compromise on that?
That's not compromise, really. It's like, do your snoring. I like my personal space anyway. So
Yeah, but while you're together, why should you have personal spaces? You should be lying on the same bed.
there is history to that, by the way. So it's like people having personal space, like people sleeping in the same room. It was not a matter of religion even. It was a matter of necessity. So the peasants and the poor used to sleep in like together.
Oh,
So people who were able to afford multiple rooms would actually sleep separate.
so the fact that you're not sleeping next to your spouse doesn't mean that.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so that you wouldn't mind. You get another room.
So are you saying that if you marry, the woman could be in a different room? And
Be in your room.
Wow.
You can.
You have
be
a
in
problem with that?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
No, but why would my wife want to be far from me?
So what if that's what your wife wants? Would that be a deal
She
breaker?
can't want that in the marriage.
But I want my personal space sometimes.
If that is the case, then we better not marry. Why would I want to marry a woman, okay, then she decides to sleep in a different room, I decide to sleep in a different room?
Do you realize how uncomfortable?
So that's a deal breaker for you.
Yes.
Okay.
It's serious.
So what if you want your personal space and you decide that you want to sleep in another room? It's okay for your wife.
I'm sure she may also not want it.
So then,
So we'll be in the same room.
okay.
What if your wife wants it?
If she wants it. In fact, if she wants it and I know before we even decide to go further, then I'll stay back.
What about kissing and, love making. If a woman is prudish, is that actually a deal breaker?
Not so much. Funny, isn't it?
Why?
Not
Funny, isn't it? Yeah. Because you have a tall list.
Yeah, but not so much. Because honestly, I think that sex is both overrated and undervalued. So either way, it's not really what.
What do you mean by it's overrated and undervalued?
People expect sex to be, I don't know, like they expect something from sex.
What do you expect from sex?
It has to be a connection. That's what I expect. Like,
Connection? What kind of connection?
an astral connection. there has to be something that like both of you want out of it, right? And if one party is not wanting sex for whatever reason, religion, health, trauma, if they're not wanting sex at that moment and they have supposedly justified reasons for it, you don't force or you don't coerce or you do not convince them into it.
If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a comment below and click the subscribe button for more exciting episodes. And I mean, what are you waiting for? Click it now.